Hello everybody, it's Kyra from BodyCandy. On today's episode of The Tea, we'll be speaking about what is the Forward Helix piercing. But before we get into that, as always, remember to like, comment and subscribe to BodyCandy. Make sure you see all of these videos. So let's go. This is one of my favourites and I don't even have it. So what is it? A Forward Helix piercing is in the most forward portion of your helix, that ridge of cartilage that runs around the outside of your ear. It's the part that's right above the tragus, before the ridge curves back towards the top of the ear. Just like so. So, anatomy and placement. This is a very anatomy dependent piercing, as with most cartilage piercings, so you will need to have a well-defined helix ridge, but you also need to have enough space between that ridge and the ridge inside where a rook piercing would go, so here. First, you're looking at two different parts of the ear to have to work together in order to accommodate this piercing. You may be able to work around the rook portion and have the piercing done just above or below that ridge if there's enough space. However, the well-defined helix is absolutely necessary for this piercing. Where the piercing is placed may affect whether you can get multiple piercings, and also the jewellery styles that you can wear in them when it is healed. But as always, these are things that you should discuss with your skilled and trusted piercer beforehand. So, piercing jewellery, the most fun topic. Like most ear cartilage piercings, the initial jewellery needs to be a straight flatback labret or straight barbell. This is another thing to discuss with your piercer because some people find flatback labrets more comfortable, but some people find ball ends on barbells a lot easier to keep clean, for example. So the front end should be something that isn't too heavy and doesn't stick out too far. And this will just prevent the jewellery from being snagged on things whilst it's healing. Always don't forget to go back to your piercer and get your jewellery downsized when the piercer tells you that that's appropriate. This will obviously also help your piercing heal properly. Don't overthink it if you find the initial piercing jewellery boring or it's not your style. You don't have to wear that one forever. So, cleaning and healing. A single forward helix piercing should take somewhere between 6 to 12 months to fully heal. Aftercare is very similar to other cartilage piercings. Twice a day with clean hands, spray your piercing on both sides with a sterile saline wound wash, then rinse with clean, clear water, and pat dry with a paper towel. If you have some stubborn crusties on the jewellery that you really want to remove, try standing in a hot shower for a bit, and if that doesn't work, you can use pointed cotton swab to remove any lingering crusties, but make sure you do this very gently. Make sure you don't sleep on this piercing and use a traveller's neck pillow. It's a lifesaver and it lets you sleep with your ear inside of the centre hole. The next topic everyone dreads, migration and rejection. This piercing has roughly the same rate of rejecting or migrating as any other cartilage piercing. It can and does happen, but if done properly and cared for properly, you can significantly lower the chances of this happening. If you notice that your jewellery is kind of no longer where it was when it was pierced, or you can see the bar through the skin, or if you have other problems like a bump that refuses to budge, just consult your piercer and get their opinion on it. And last up, we've got variations. It's a really exciting piercing because you can do quite a lot of different styles with it. So a triple forward helix piercing is a common variant of this. It's the same piercing but in a neat vertical row of 3. So the anatomy for this is less common than what you would need to support a singular forward helix piercing. It may or may not be right for you, so don't get your hopes up. Go and see your piercer. It's very important that you don't get all 3 done at once because the swelling and the proximity of each piercing to each other can make it nearly impossible to heal all 3 at once or cause problems and maybe require some removal. If you are into this look, kind of break it up into at least 2 sessions. As you can imagine, this also requires a really experienced piercer, so make sure you are confident in the one that you go to. So that is all from me on this topic. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do you have a forward helix piercing? Would you like to get one? Remember to like and subscribe to BodyCandy as well, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.